In the heart of the ocean, where sunlight dances in ribbons of gold, lies a kingdom of unparalleled wonder. This is Atlantica, a world painted in soft pastels, where coral reefs glow with an inner light and shimmering plants sway to the silent music of the tides. Here, in this vast, enchanting realm, lived a mermaid named Lyra. She was the youngest daughter of the Sea King, with hair the color of fiery sunsets and a spirit as boundless as the ocean itself. Lyra's days were spent exploring the kaleidoscopic world around her. She would race with schools of sparkling fish, their scales like 1,000 tiny mirrors reflecting the dreamy light. She'd swim through forests of glowing jellyfish, their gentle pulses like floating lanterns guiding her way. Her favorite playground was the field of ancient ruins, remnants of a forgotten time, where she would collect trinkets and imagine the stories they held. From a distance, her home, a majestic palace of pearl and gold, shimmered under the soft god rays, a beacon of safety and love. But Lyra's heart yearned for something more. Above her world, on the surface, gentle waves lapped against the shores of a different kingdom. Ships with grand white sails drifted slowly across the glowing horizon, carrying people of the land. Lyra was endlessly fascinated by them. She would often swim to the surface, her head just above the water, to watch their world. She saw them laugh, she heard their music, and she dreamt of walking among them, feeling the sand beneath her feet and the sun warm on her skin. Her father, the wise Sea King, would warn her of the dangers of the human world, his voice a deep and loving rumble. He reminded her of the beauty and safety of her home, of her duties to her people, and of the unbridgeable divide between their two worlds. But Lyra's curiosity was a current too strong to resist. One evening, a fierce storm, a maelstrom of wind and waves, descended upon the surface. A magnificent ship was tossed and torn apart by the tempest. Amidst the chaos, Lyra saw a young man, a prince, thrown into the churning sea. Without a second thought, she dove into action. Her powerful tail propelled her through the violent waters, her heart pounding in her chest. She reached him just as he was about to be swallowed by the waves, and with all her strength, she pulled him towards the shore. She laid him gently on the sand, his face pale in the moonlight. As he lay there, unconscious, she found herself captivated by his peaceful expression. She had never been so close to a human before. She sang a soft, haunting melody, a song of the sea, a song from her heart, hoping it would somehow reach him. Just as his eyes began to flutter open, she heard voices approaching. Panicked, she slipped back into the waves, her heart aching with a strange new feeling, a mix of fear and an intense longing. She watched from the safety of the water as a princess from a nearby kingdom found him, and he was carried away. The prince, Eric, awoke with the memory of a beautiful voice and a fleeting glimpse of a mysterious girl. He became obsessed with finding his savior, the girl with the enchanting song. Meanwhile, back in Atlantica, Lyra was consumed by thoughts of the prince. The underwater kingdom, once her vibrant paradise, now felt like a beautiful cage. The glowing coral and sparkling fish couldn't distract her from the ache in her heart. She confided in her friends, a cheerful yellowfish named Finny and a quirky seagull named Scuttle, who she'd meet at the surface. They listened, but could offer little more than comfort. Lyra knew she had to see the prince again, no matter the cost. This deep, desperate longing led her to the darkest trenches of the ocean, to the lair of Ursula, the sea witch. Ursula was a formidable figure, her magic as dark and unpredictable as the abyss she called home. She listened to Lyra's plea with a sly smile, her tentacles coiling and uncoiling. She offered Lyra a deal, a pair of human legs for 3 days in exchange for her beautiful voice. If Lyra could receive a true love's kiss from the prince before the third sunset, she would remain human forever. If she failed, she would belong to the sea witch for all eternity. Blinded by love and hope, Lyra agreed. In a whirlwind of dark magic and blinding light, her tail was transformed into legs, and her voice was captured in a glowing nautilus shell. The pain was immense, but the thought of seeing her prince again gave her strength. Her friends helped her to the surface, where she washed ashore, weak and unable to speak. By a stroke of fate, Prince Eric himself found her. He was drawn to her, though he didn't recognize her as the girl from the shipwreck. He was touched by her silent plight and her expressive eyes, and he took her back to his castle. Her first days on land were a whirlwind of new sensations. The feeling of grass under her feet, The taste of new foods, the weight of fine dresses. It was all overwhelming and wonderful. She and Eric spent their time together, exploring his kingdom. He took her on a tour of the town, on a romantic boat ride through a lagoon. Though she couldn't speak, her vibrant personality shone through. Eric found himself falling for this mysterious, silent girl. He felt a connection he couldn't explain, but the memory of the voice still haunted him. Meanwhile, Ursula watched their growing affection from her crystal ball. Seeing her plan was in danger, she decided to intervene. Using Lyra's stolen voice and a magical disguise, she transformed herself into a beautiful woman named Vanessa. She appeared on the shore, singing Lyra's song. Eric, hearing the voice he'd been searching for, was instantly enchanted. He believed he had finally found his savior. He announced that he would marry Vanessa the very next day, on the evening of the third day. Lyra was heartbroken. She watched from the castle window as the wedding ship was prepared. Time was running out. Just as all hope seemed lost, her friends from the sea and sky came to her aid. Scuttle, the seagull, flew over the wedding ship and discovered that the bride, Vanessa, was actually the sea witch in disguise. He rallied all the creatures he could find. Birds, dolphins, seals, and fish all swarmed the ship, creating chaos. In the ensuing pandemonium, Scuttle managed to break the Nautilus shell hanging around Vanessa's neck. Lyra's voice was restored, shattering Ursula's spell. As her beautiful song filled the air, Eric's eyes cleared. He realized the truth. Lyra was the one who had saved him, the one he had been falling in love with all along. He rushed to her, but it was too late. The sun had set on the third day. Lyra collapsed, her legs transforming back into a mermaid's tail. Ursula, revealing her true form, grabbed Lyra and dragged her back into the ocean. But Eric would not let her go. He dove into the sea after them, determined to save the woman he loved. The Sea King appeared, ready to trade his own life and kingdom for his daughter's freedom. But before he could, Ursula, drunk with power from the king's trident, grew to a monstrous size. A final, epic battle ensued. The ocean churned as Ursula's rage created a massive whirlpool. Eric, with courage and quick thinking, commandeered a sunken ship and steered it directly into the heart of the giant sea witch, defeating her once and for all. With Ursula gone, her dark magic was undone. The Sea King, seeing the depth of Lyra and Eric's love, and witnessing the prince's selfless bravery, had a change of heart. He understood that love knew no boundaries, not even between sea and land. Using his own magic, he granted his daughter's greatest wish. He permanently transformed her into a human. Lyra and Eric were reunited on the shore, finally able to be together. Their wedding was a joyous celebration, uniting both the kingdom of the land and the kingdom of the sea. They lived happily ever after, their love a bridge between two worlds, a testament to the idea that love can conquer all. Thanks so much for watching our magical retelling of this classic fairy tale. If you enjoyed this journey under the sea, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more enchanting stories. We'll see you in the next video.